In this video, I'll be going over ICT's 2025 OTE trading strategy that has over a 90% win rate. Be sure to watch till the end of this video, as I'll be going over an example on EuroUSD and giving you my exact settings I use for my Fibonacci tool. Let's get started. So before we actually get into the model, I'm going to be going over 3 simple steps that you need to follow to be able to trade this strategy. So the first thing we need is a liquidity sweep. So once that liquidity sweep occurs, we then want a market structure shift with displacement, so we know it's going towards our bias, and then it needs to be followed by a PD array, so it can be an order block, a breaker block, fair value gap, etc. Now once we've had that, we then use our Fibonacci tool, and once we do that, we want to enter based off the 0.62 level or the 0.79 level. Now the time frame we're going to be focusing on, as we have a very short time window, is the 5 minutes and the minutes. The pairs that we're going to trade is EuroUSD, GBP/USD, NAS 100 or US30. These are the 4 pairs that it works well on. Now the time session we're going to be focusing on is between 8 AM New York time till 2:30 PM. So I'll just switch that up, 14:30. And if you've not got this indicator yet, you can simply get it by clicking on indicators and point sessions. And you want to get the one by Rocks. And once you've done that, you simply click this, you turn off all the settings except New York session, and you want to put your New York session time to 8 AM till 2:30 PM. That's our time window. Okay, let's get into the model. So the first thing we can see, if we head over to the model right here, is a liquidity sweep. So we can see right here, we've been consolidating and we had a liquidity sweep. Once we've had that liquidity sweep, price continued to move towards the upside, and then we had a market structure shift, and we had that with displacement. And once we've done that, as you guys can see, price went up to the 0.79 level, and the PD array that we are going to be marking out is a fair value gap. So let's presume this is a fair value gap. You would enter off this fair value gap, you would put a short position at the 0.79 level, put your stop loss at the 1 level, and your take profit would be a simple 1 to 2, although you could target, say for example, the 0.25 level or the 0.62 level. So if you want to use the OTE Fibonacci as a take profit level, so you can use, so if you enter onto the 0.79 level, you can do 0.62 as your take profit 1, 0.5 as your take profit 2, so on and so forth. Now that you've got a good understanding of the OTE trading strategy, I'm going to be moving over to the example on EuroUSD. But just before I do, I just want to go over something. So I've teamed up with Instant Funding AI, a prop firm passing service that have been passing FTMO challenges, and even their own trading bot was being run on personal accounts. So if we can see this account right here, Mohammed Wakar passed it on the 15th of April. You can see he passed his account. And if we go into the FTMO's website, we can confirm that his account was passed. If you are interested in getting access to their trading bot, I've left the link down in the description. You can see countless results. You can see $11,600 was made across a whole entire week. So if you were to have used their trading bot, you would have passed your phase 1, which is the 10% target, and be at 1.6% on your phase 2. You can see the results for yourself. And if you scroll up to their channel, you can see countless results. So everything is in the description down below. Be sure to check them out. Now we'll be moving over to the example on EuroUSD. Right guys, we are now on the live example on EuroUSD. So let me show you guys how to take the trade using the OTE model. So the first thing we're going to do is mark out some highs. So this is one of the recent highs. We can see right here. We can see another recent high right here. And we can see more recent highs around here. So where do we actually enter the trade? So remember, like I said to you guys, for the trade to be valid, we need market structure shift along with displacement. So let's see how this plays out. So the first one, you can see we've had a liquidity sweep, but we've not had any sort of displacement, so this would be invalid. We would not take a trade. Let's see the next one. Okay, so we've swept that liquidity. We're going to see if we get any sort of displacement. If we do, then we can take the trade. If not, we're going to wait for price to take out the next high. So, and you can see we've just had displacement and we've had a market structure shift. So what I would do is get my trend line and mark out this market structure shift. And once I've marked out the market structure shift, I can then go over to my Fibonacci tool, and we can see the high is right here, and we can see that this candle was the candle that took out the this low right here. Now obviously you guys have been waiting for the settings, so if I click on my settings, pause this video right now and copy these settings. So the first one is 0, make sure to untick this box, 0.62, 1, minus 0.25, minus 0.62, minus 1, and then untick this box, and then 0.5, and then 0.79. And now that's the exact setting you need for the OTE strategy. Now what we can see is, I'm going to slow this down so I can show you guys properly. We can now enter off the 0.62 or 0.79 like I said. So we've already went past the 0.62, so what we would do is put a short position down, and we would put our stop loss just above the 1, because obviously some prop firms have spread, so you don't want to get, you know, taken out by 1 pip or 2 pip. And that's the same with your entry. Put it slightly below, so you know you get tapped into this trade. So I'm going to put this slightly above, and we're going to be targeting a simple 1 to 2. Well, like I said guys, you could use these Fibonacci numbers as your profit target, 1 and 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. But for me personally, 1 to 2 targeting is the best, as the win rate is pretty high. Like I said, I've back tested this and it's been over 90% win rate. So I'm going to set it to 1 to 2, just like that. And let's see how this trade plays out. I'm going to turn off this because, well, I'll keep it turned on so you know it's between the New York session. So as you guys can see, already we are going down to our take profit. So barely any drawdown, just a little bit right here. I'll just speed it up. I'm going to extend this TP. So let's see how this trade plays out. We are consolidating a bit, but it does seem as though we will hit take profit. And just like that, we've hit and take profit. Obviously it's been, you know, consolidating quite a bit. It wasn't the best example, but overall you can see the strategy does work. We did hit a 1 to 2. Well, I mean, you could have held the trade using the OTE take profit target thing, and if you continued to hold, you could have catched a 1.287. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, leave them down in the description, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this video.